pitch.
Oh, that's nice that Jeremy's not working so he can do these things.
Yes.
He doesn't sleep. Because he
Oh, no, he's off this week.
Oh, right. That's
yes.
Right.
And then next week he doesn't work Friday. So so that works out great. So yeah, so that's always fun going into the kids' class and reading to them.
Yes, I went in and did math this week.
Oh, that's not so fun, but
yes, it is. Did you try my math questions that I posted?
I didn't understand any of them. So
you're not supposed to. The kids are supposed to try it.
I didn't even understand the word. Like I only read the last question, the one with the pyramid and the squares, and was it symmetry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is that? Like I don't know what that meant. Like I didn't even know what to do, so I just ignored it and pressed swipe. I like math though. I enjoy math, especially when it comes to money, like money math. But so I just didn't spend the time.
That's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am back on my blogging train. So
lucky me.
My husband. Oh yes, you get to come on video. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
So yes, my husband was telling me, "Come on, let's go get your blog back up and running." I mean, I am trying to write a book, right? So I got to get all these posts and all my thoughts out onto paper. Mm-hmm. And so I started on Friday. So I started back up on Wednesday with daily blog posts. So I'm going to push myself to write a post every single day, which is a lot. So I need ideas.
Isn't that a lot?
It is. So they're not very long. They're more like just ideas that I'm coming up with. And so a lot of people that follow Lazy Parenting seem to like, they do. They like I get a lot of feedback on the parenting stuff, like on tips and tricks and things like that. So that's what this is. So the first 3 tips were all easy, positive, like parenting strategies to implement in your house that aren't like negative parenting strategies. Like it's not about like, I'll get into that more like discipline and consequences and things like that. But the first 3 were sort of really easy-ish ones. Why do you laugh? Are they not easy?
Well, no, they're great. Like the thing is like as much as
she doesn't like my lazy parenting.
No. Sorry. Is like as much as we can find, I'm just thinking about how quickly our kids are growing up, and the more that we can find joy in the moments with them, the better. Because I want my kids to look back and go, they only remember the happy times, that they don't remember me yelling at them for like random things. So your tips this week will help for me to reach that goal.
Right, because you want a happy house. That's kind of what it was. These 3 tips, so I'll go over them. But the 3 tips were really just about, can you change the vibe in your household, right? And you can pretty easily and quickly by doing a few things. And so number 1 this week was smile. And I read somewhere, and this came from back when we had kids in preschool. So both Dawn and I had our kids in a parent participation preschool, which we both really, really loved because it was like a really positive, fun environment for the kids. And we got to participate a lot and show up and do duty days and all of that. And so we really enjoyed it a lot. But I remember reading a book or reading an article or something that was like, imagine like you were your child, like, and you were coming home from school or coming home from preschool, and you walked into the house after being gone all day, and your parent was, I mean, back then we weren't on our phones. It wasn't quite the same thing, but like you come home and your mom is like on their phone and just, and you just walk in and there's no reaction from your parent. Like imagine how that would make you feel when you see someone, like, even for us, like when we've been away on vacation, like on a business trip, and we come home, even to our husband, right? And like, you're expecting like some fanfare, like you were missed or whatever, and then if you're not missed, you're like,
I'm always missed, because then he had to do the parenting all by himself.
True.
He's happy I'm home.
Yes.
To help.
Right, but you want that reaction, right? And so it made me think about our kids, like when they are coming and they see us for the first time, what kind of reaction are we giving them? And so it's like when you wake up in the morning, like, what is the first thing you're saying to your child after you haven't talked to them for a few minutes?
Well, for me, I'm lucky, not lucky, but they remind me of this often, also in a positive way, because I'm usually the one to pick them up from school. I still do that. They will walk home once in a while, but I'm usually the one. Or if my husband does and they come home, they are always seeking me out. Like at the playground when I'm picking them up, they seek me out, and they're like, "Hi, I'm so excited to see you. Give me a hug," kind of thing. So they remind me to then react the way that they've reacted to me.
I imagine not everybody does that though. Like I imagine that in some families, when the child is reacting that way, if you are within yourself,
Yeah.
you might not give
Yes.
that back.
Yes.
And so that was kind of what the thought was,
Right.
was making sure that you're giving,
Yeah.
you're mirroring the emotions.
Yes.
Of the
They
excitement.
just remind me
and
to
the
do
love.
it.
That's
Like
good.
in case if I'm grumpy, then I purposely put on the smiley face.
Yeah.
And like in the morning, they're up before me every day. And so as soon as they hear me up, they come to me and they're like, "Hi, Mom." Like they're happy to see me every morning.
Yeah.
Surprisingly still. Even my almost teenager, like she'll search me out when she gets up. And so then I give it right back. And so they're great reminders for me to do that.
And it does change though.
Yeah.
So like for this morning, I didn't see my teenage son
Oh yeah?
before he went for school. Like I got to, "Bye, Mom,"
Yep.
as he left, which is unusual. Normally he'll come up to my room and like say goodbye to me or
Yeah.
give me a hug. So he might have been grumpy or whatever today. I don't know, but I'm not that worried about it. But like just those kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
Like ensuring that. So that was tip number one, was smiling at your kids or showing that emotion back to them.
Yes.
Or how you can instantly turn things around when your kids are grumpy or not
Yes.
responding to you.
Yes.
Tip number 2 this week was catch them doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a pretty standard, really effective parenting strategy with your kids when you are trying to, this has to be an ongoing thing. So this isn't for in the moment of a day, but this is about remembering, like, if you are always pointing out all of the things that they're doing wrong, what
Mm-hmm.
kind of effect that might be having on your kids. And so
Mm-hmm.
this was more about changing that dialogue around a little bit and catching them doing things that are good, which can be really, really hard.
Yes.
Depending on how
Well, yeah.
what's going on.
And I find like my kids are very self-sufficient, and so I don't actually pay a lot of attention to them when they're home.
Yeah.
So for me to do that, I would actually have to work at it, like, which I think most parents would have to anyways, but like I would have to pay attention. So like kind of similar is that my husband's off this week because he's building a deck. So we've had he's doing something in the backyard, and we have no stairs from our upper like kitchen down to the floor outside. And so one of my middle kid has been helping Dad all week and on the weekend build this staircase kind of thing. And so he's helping with the tools, he's helping put away, he's helping bring things out, he's helping get the wood, he's measuring, he's on the ladder. So we've been praising him a lot for that, just because we want him to want to work with Dad. And like Dad's fixing his truck today. He's very handy, this guy. And so after school, Thomas is going to go and help him finish fixing the truck. So I know it's not the same kind of behavior.
No, but it is. It's like you want to give praise and give recognition and acknowledgement to the behaviors that you want,
yes,
rather than focusing on the behaviors that you don't want. And that's, I mean, we've coached our whole lives, and so that's a coaching thing. And it's actually harder in coaching to do because your whole job when you're coaching kids in a sport is to point out
how to do things better.
Theoretically, right? And so it's more about changing that dialogue from, I'll just use gymnastics or tumbling, but it could be soccer, or it could be basketball. Like, hey, don't do this, rather than saying that, to say, hey, can't do this, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's don't bend your legs in your back walk over. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but instead of saying that, say, let's work on straightening our legs. So that's like a fundamental thing that I think both of us are pretty, because we've been coaching for so long, and that's a really thing that we're passionate about, to transfer that over into parenting is kind of this idea around number 2 is catch them doing the behaviors that you like. So the picture that I posted, because I was trying to find a picture of my kids like getting along or helping each other, and there was nothing on my 8,000 photos on my phone about how them helping each other. But I found the one photo which was like at swimming with Nick playing with his little sister, and being loving and caring and showing those behaviors. And so that was what I posted, because to me it was like, oh, that was so great. So if you have little ones, can you point out to when they're being helpful, when they're being kind to their sibling, when they're making their bed, when they're getting their own breakfast, like all of the behaviors that you want to make sure that you're, not make sure, but like if you're trying to find positive behaviors, things that you want to see more, then praising those things.
Yes, Nate brushed his own teeth today. I was like, yes, high five.
Did you? Yes, say something to him about it?
Yes. Well, I mean, we normally brush his teeth because he actually has some issues with his teeth, and so we usually brush them because the dentist has asked us to.
Yeah.
But today, like, he went in there no problem and did it on his own, and then asked us to check afterwards, and he did a fairly good job because he didn't disappoint me yesterday. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I was like, oh, thank goodness. And he got himself dressed today by himself. Usually he wants mommy to sit with him, which again I don't mind because it's time with
I remember you talking about that on a previous video.
Yeah.
So it's coming along.
Yes, right. So yeah, he wants to be sometimes more like his big brother and do the things that Thomas does.
And then you praise that behavior, right? Like, wow. Like, the other thing is, if you have more than one child in your family, if you're praising the child's behavior of the one that's doing what you want, then the other child usually is going to want to do those things as well to get your attention and to get your praise. And so that's a little tip and trick as well. Mm-hmm. So it's not that you're spoiling or giving more attention to the child who's doing, like Thomas is doing it. Because again, you're not praising the child, you're praising the behavior. So, wow, Thomas, look at how helpful you're being to mom or what you're doing. And then the other children kind of can click and all that. So that was tip number 2. So tip number 1 was smile. When you see them, show genuine love and excitement that they're in your life. Number 2 was catch them doing good. And today is a new blog post, so please go and click on it on the website and read it. What's today? What did I say?
I don't remember.
Catch them doing good. And number 3 was, oh, come on, people, help me out. What was it today?
I drawing blank.
Oh, quality time.
Oh, that's
Holy
right.
crap. I'm tired. Okay, quality time. So my post on Instagram talks about, we're always told that we need to find quality time with our children, right? Mm-hmm. And what does that mean? And does it stress you out as a parent to try to think, oh my God, how the hell am I supposed to find more time when I have 4 children? How am I supposed to find time with each of my children to do all of the things? I have 4 kids. How am I supposed to find time in my busy day where I'm one-on-one with them, doing something with them with my whole undivided attention?
Yep, it is. It seems like an overwhelming task, but it doesn't have to be.
Right. So that was the point of today's blog post, is that I'm not talking about, and I'm going to use the date night thing in a second to make a clarification on this. Like, it's not about planning big elaborate events with each child, like having a date night with your child every week, or having something that you like, that would be 4 nights a week or 4 days that I would have to find time, plus my husband. That's a whole week that I have a job, I have other things that I'm passionate about and doing, and so that's not going to work. So on the blog post I talk about 3 ways that you can easily, like today, start implementing or like start family traditions around how you can connect with your kids. So one of them was little times in the day, and so this was like in your regular schedule of your day. So if you have kids that are morning kids, morning kids, then can you, yes, it takes a little bit of effort, can you wake up a little bit earlier and ensure that you have breakfast with them? And sit down, put your phone away, and actually engage with them about the day. What are they excited about today? What are the things that they're hoping to accomplish today? Like, what's getting them really excited? Today I put on, my daughter came into my bedroom and just like laid on the floor. And she's like, I'm like, what's going on? So I like put on Spotify, put on my dance music, and I turned up music and put my phone by her and like tried to get her happy and moving and excited. I have teenagers now, and so the days have shifted to where we're home late at night. Mm-hmm. So can I find time at night when they're more receptive, and my teenagers aren't really necessarily up in the morning ready to talk, but at nighttime, can I sit with them and chat with them? Or when you're reading stories, can you find that time to sit and connect with them? So that was number 3, but the second part of, or was it my first point? First point of finding quality time. So just within your regular day, like it doesn't have to be special extra time. You can just find it within the day. You're laughing at me.
Because again, I feel like I get overwhelmed with life, and so I'm actually, this whole week I've not been home very much because I've been here. Or actually I've just been here, and I go home and I come back.
Like a full-time working mom right now.
And so like yesterday, Thomas's job, my middle one, is to empty the dishwasher, and so like I spent that time with him. I was like, I clearly stayed in the kitchen while he did that, and we chatted. And so like he got the chore done, or his whatever, he did the dishes, and I was doing something as well, but I made an effort to just be in the kitchen with him and ask how his day went for school and all that, because that's all the time I had.
Right, but it's a conversation, and it's like, even if you were home all the time and you didn't engage in those conversations, like, again, just being in the presence of your children doesn't mean that you're actually talking to them or spending time with them.
Yes.
Right. And so finding that, like, being intentional around it and doing it that way. Kelly's just talking about, Kelly, totally, walking is one of the biggest things that I think actually does work with kids to find time. That's one of my second, I think in the blog post I talk about how my husband is a walker. And so he goes for walks every night or goes for runs every night. And since the kids were little, he would always say, hey, who wants to come with me? Or when they were little and we were trying to instill the behavior, he was more like, come on, let's go, like getting them to do it, because then they have to, sometimes you have to force them a little bit so that they understand that it's actually a good thing in their life and that they like it and that they enjoy it. And so now he does it, and that's his one-on-one time with the kids, going for walks. And Kelly's talking about how walking her kids to her school is being a super special time. And it is, if you can find that time, walking is a great way to do it. And I know, like, my two little ones walk to school together. And they walk home together. And I can watch them walk up my driveway at the end of the day. And they're, as much as they may fight at home and bicker, when they walk up to the house, they're like talking and like they know about each other's day, and like it works really well. So it's a great strategy.
Agreed.
So that was that one. And the other one, finding time, was in the car. So my kids are all in sports, a lot of sports. And now we just added, like, summer swim just started. So life is super crazy. But again, walking to the pool and back to the pool, if I take the time to go with them, that is time. But in the car is a really great time. So especially with my teenagers, driving my son to the other side of the city twice a week or driving him home is time to connect and time to talk. And so I talked about a rule that we have in our house. And I do really, really recommend that you do this rule, and that is no technology in the car. And this started even when Chris and I were before we had kids or the kids were babies. Like, we're not on the phone with each other. Like, I'm not allowed to be on my phone when he's driving, and he's not allowed to be on the phone when I'm driving. And I can never get a hold of you at that point. And it started that way, like, just on road trips or anything, that we're not really on our phones when we're with each other, because we're supposed to keep each other entertained and talk to each other in the car. So we do that, and that just happened when the kids were little as well. So our kids are not allowed to be on their phones when they're in the car. They have to be put away. They ask, oh, I'm just going to text my friend real quickly about something. I'm like, okay, because it's something about that they're meeting or picking up or something like that. But I would recommend make sure that you have time in the car to talk, because and then you can, I mean, we also do the singing, like we play music really loud and we sing in the car and dance in the car and do like duets and stuff. And that's really helpful as well. So I know a lot of families don't have that rule. And I just think it goes down to the fundamental. I saw somewhere on a post on Facebook saying, what is your number one family rule that you have in your house? If you were to have a rule in your house? I don't know. So mine would probably be around respect, like, and kindness. Like, every behavior, everything you do has to be kind and respectful to the other people in your family. And if that's the fundamental value that you have, that you build everything else on, like, that's why you can't have technology in your bedroom, because other than the safety, like, you're away. You're not participating in the family. You're not a part of conversations. You're not there. Like, all of the rules. And so in the car, it's a respect rule. And then that means when they're driving with other people, I know that when they're in carpools, they're not on the phone. It's not my kid. It's always like the kids that we drive. They're on their phone. I'm like, okay, my daughter just offered to drive you somewhere, and now you're going to ignore her and be on your phone the whole time, because my kids don't have phones. Anyways, that's a pet peeve of mine. Once they're older, they all do. But so that was another one. And then the third one. That was 3. It was walking on the driving, and finding time in the day. There you go. If you want the other ones, you need to go read the blog post. So that you can be on that. And then you have to vote. On vancouvermom.ca for me and blogging. So yes, do that. I see that Vancouver Mom stepped on as well for a little bit here as well. So those are my tips about easy parenting this week. So all of my blog posts this week were about that. I'm going to keep going every day. I've posted on my Instagram story today, what questions or what topics would you like me to talk about on the blog? Because I would love to address specific issues that you might be having in your house and give my take on it. And sometimes it's helpful to have other people. I did want to talk about another thing. I'm going to bring this up now. So we had talked about, as business women, have always been a part of a mastermind. And we were part of a mastermind, which has been great for our business because we're surrounded by like-minded women and men in our mastermind. It wasn't a women-only thing. It was men and women who are in the same industry as us, slightly different perhaps. And we would share ideas and we would work through things, and it helped our business and it helped us figure out how to run systems in our business and elevate our business, right?
And ourselves.
Yes, absolutely, because we're surrounded by people that we want to be like. Mm-hmm. And so if you surround yourself with people who are further ahead than you or know more than you, then hopefully you rise to them.
Yeah.
And so my idea around a mastermind was about parenting. So I was wondering how people would feel about putting together a mastermind for parents. Now this sounds kind of weird, so stick with me for a second. I am getting hurt. So it's like a mastermind for parents, meaning, I think that just happens with people. A mastermind for parents would be this kind of an idea. It would be a group of women. I would say women because I don't know how many dads follow me, but dads are welcome too. Parents of different aged children, which I think is really important. So when you go to like baby days, you're all new moms. And so you really only have the nurse or the person facilitating that. And I wouldn't say necessarily knows more than you, but has experienced more than you, because sometimes they might not be on the same page as you about your own parenting styles. So my idea is around to have a mastermind where we all get together and you share ideas about what you're struggling with the most at the moment. And then you're getting the insight from the other people in the group, their experience, what they've done, what works, what hasn't worked for them. And then you as a parent have 9 other women or men, parents that have been maybe through it, maybe haven't been through it. But if you are a parent of a newborn and you have a mom like myself who has 4 kids and has been through that, or you have parent of twins, or you have someone who's gone through really, really hard times through divorce and through co-parenting, like all of those minds together, like we do it for business. Why don't we do it for parenting?
Yeah.
So that was my idea. So I want to know if you'd be interested in that. We have a great facility here where we could host people and just share ideas that way. And so I wanted to do that. So I wanted to set something up and see if there was an interest in that. So I am going to post that. I like that. I'm giving hearts. If you like that idea, give me hearts, because then I know that people are interested in it. And the other thing I would like you to do is, because how I can get in touch with you is if you sign up on lazyparenting.ca to the newsletter, then I can get in touch with you, and then we can try to figure out how to do this for the first one, and then offer these events, this mastermind where we get together and chat about it. And then I would ask you things like, would you not want to have your children there if you have little ones, or I think babies, like, I don't know, we have to figure out all those sorts of things. Right. But I think it'd be really, really valuable.
Yes, it's always nice to hear from many people, because you probably get maybe 9 different strategies, and then you just try and figure out what works for you.
Right. And the fact that they're multi-aged is what my theory is like, if you have parents who have kids of lots of different ages, then that would be helpful as well. And lots of different backgrounds and lots of different parenting styles, in a non-judgmental, just kind of sharing, elevating everybody idea. So that's my idea. So I'm going to post on Instagram and let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. And then I think we should organize the first one.
Sounds great.
Let's do it. Let's get it all together. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, well that's it. That's all I got today. Okay. So again, a couple of things. Go read the blog post on the website, lazyparenting.ca. 2, if you have time to go to vancouvermom.ca, if you just go vancouvermom.ca, and you just click it, then you can vote for Lazy Parenting. Stephanie Kennedy, it says right there. Yeah. Every day you get to vote. I think the only person voting right now is my husband. Maybe Elizabeth is voting every day.
I voted every day.
Every day? Really?
Yes, maybe I missed one, but yes. Hello.
Oh, she's a good friend.
Yes.
And I don't even think I voted every day. I think I lost first. I think I forgot in a day. And then 3, I'm going to post on my Instagram stories about this mastermind for parenting, and if this is something that would be interesting to you, and if you would like to participate, because I think it's a neat idea. I think we do it for business, we do it for other things. Our biggest job is parenting, right? That has the biggest impact in people's lives and in the world. So we're going to do that. And that's it. Oh, wait. That's all I got. You got any funny stories?
No.
Okay. Oh, shake everything. Okay, bye. See you later. get 9 pillars.